Hello and welcome to the Crookedrivercast. I'm your host, Robert, and joining me every week is my friend Tom to help us keep track of what's going on in Northeast Ohio. This is show 20. Is this show 20 already?
20.
Recorded on August 2nd, 2025. It's another week. It's another show. Let's see what's going on. Hi, Tom. How you doing?
I'm doing very well. How are you?
I'll be honest with you. I'm a little rough right now. A little rough around the edges.
A little rough.
Well, I mean, you know, my normal family and work week has been, I've had to share my any extra time I have between show prep and bathroom tile.
Bathroom tile.
Yeah, I'm currently remodeling my bathroom.
Ooh. Project time. And last project of this magnitude was 5 years ago, I think. 6 years ago when we did our kitchen. Mm-hmm.
And things have changed a little since then.
Well, it is 5 years later.
5 years later, so a couple things have changed. One is, I mean, I can order things online and just go pick it up. That's pretty cool. That saves me some time from wandering around Home Depot.
Oh, they delivered it to you, or
no? But I could just go pick it up. I don't have to
pick it up.
They can shop for me, kind of like Giant Eagle or one of those places.
Yeah, just go up to the counter and get it.
Which in most cases is good. I mean, even to the fact that I can order one sheet of drywall and they'll have it sitting there waiting for you. I didn't think they would do that, but they did. I was like, until it was all good until I ordered the cement board for the shower back.
What, did they pick the wrong one or something? Or
no, that one. Normally you're ready in 2 hours. They're like, yeah, it's going to be delayed.
Why?
Stuff's really heavy, I think. I really think that's it, because I ended up canceling the order and just going there.
What do you mean? Like, it's only one sheet. I know it's heavy, but it's what size are those? 4 by 3 by 4, right?
Yeah, 42 by 5, I think was the ones I got. 42 inches by 5.
Okay.
But I needed 4 of them.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
And when I went into the store and started loading them on the cart, and I was like, oh, now I know why we're delayed a little bit.
Yeah, there might not have been enough guys there.
It was towards the end of the day, at the evening. It was probably 6 o'clock when I ordered it. And then we went out with the family and like, let's make a run of it, because we went to a store that wasn't really that close to us, because they had the certain board I wanted. And let's go get ice cream or something, do something like that. So we go get ice cream. We're eating ice cream, and then I'm like looking at the app. It's been like 2 hours. I'm like, nothing's even. So I cancel it. We go in. Yeah, it sucked. It was a pain in the butt. But so I figured the end of the night, and they're like, yeah, if we just delay this long enough, the next people can do it in the morning. So that's what I figured they were doing, because I think that because that's probably what I'd be doing.
Well, maybe, but I've also gone into the one by me where I ordered online, and what the hell was it? It was a large. Oh, you know what? It was like I got one of the backpack leaf blowers, and that box was pretty heavy. And a woman was bringing that up. I don't think it was that easy for her to get off the shelf.
Yeah, I could understand that.
So
they didn't have the right staff, or you had to wait for, you need a team member or two probably to do it. That's
probably 2 for that, right?
Again, I get it. I went and I dragged them on the thing. I'm like, screw this. I want somebody else to do it for me. It's hard. It's so hard. The second thing is different is, I'm 5 years older, which goes back to I'm a little rough around the edges this morning, because I've been splitting my time between bathroom remodel and show prep and everything else you got to do. And, but I'm learning. 5 years older. So I'm trying to use my brain a little bit more, think about things, not just barrel right into them, and, try to plan out a little bit better. Do it once, not twice or 3 times.
Yeah.
Trying to get rid of that.
Make one trip when you're getting stuff.
Yes.
Instead of going back and forth.
Yeah. And actually good point. 'Cause that's what a lot of this, ordering online, I can sit there after I'm done working and just go through, okay, I need this. Oh, that's right. I need this too. And this too. And that, it's not that whole, did I put it on the list? Do I going to make it remember it? A little easier that way. And Home Depot is actually really cool, because and for the smaller stuff, they have little lockers. And you go there. Yeah, and you go there, you sign in, or I think it scans a QR code, and then it unlocks the locker for you. You don't have to go in and talk to, like, Home Depot's not bad, but you have to wait for somebody to come. Or Lowe's is not bad. You have to wait for somebody to come to the area. But for smaller stuff, Home Depot's just got little lockers right by the door. It's kind of cool.
Huh. I don't think, I wonder if mine does.
Yeah.
My area one.
I mean, they got locker, they're 2 foot by 2 foot, I think is the biggest one. So anything bigger than that, you can't have it. But, box of screws and a little bit of this and that's kind of nice. I went there. I was like, oh, this is neat. I'm going to Cedar Point. I got all my stuff in the locker. So yeah, a little rough around the edges. So got to stretch.
Wait till you do your next project 5 years later.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I think somebody else may be doing it. I'm not sure what else we'd be doing at this point, but something will come up.
There's always something.
So it's coming out nice. It's going to be great. Just it takes a little time. And they can't rush it because that's when tiles start falling off the wall.
You don't want to do it twice.
No, that's why I want to get rid of that. My motto, which is I do it right because I do it twice. No, let's not do that anymore. So far so good. And a good learning experience. Something I've actually never done before was bathtub shower. I've done a couple of bathrooms in our houses, but we've never dove into redo the tub and all that stuff.
Yeah. Well, you can come by my place when I start tiling the shower.
No.
Oh.
No. It might be worth the $10,000 to have somebody do it, Tom. It just might be worth it.
I don't think so.
I don't know. That cement board kicked my butt a couple of weeks ago.
I already did that. I don't think I would have to replace it again.
No, probably not. If it's already cement board, as long as it didn't never got wet.
No, it's in good. It should be in good shape. I just want to because I just have fake vinyl tiling on like a surround in the tub area, but I want to put real tile on there.
Yeah, and that's kind of why we started there because we had somebody come in and rip the old out and put a new tub in and set it and do all the plumbing. And then originally we were going to have them put a surround in, but we couldn't find a surround that we liked because the ones with shelves look like the one in every hotel room I go into.
Right.
And the ones with that looked nice enough, it had like a texture to them, like we're doing subway tile texture. That's what we're doing in the bath. They had no shelves.
You'd have to find something that actually probably glues on, right? Or epoxies on.
Yeah, but can you glue something to one of those surrounds? Can you?
I don't know.
One of those stick on, because we have those now in the shower. Stick on to the tile. Those things last. I mean, adhesive nowadays are crazy. So
yeah.
They've been on there for years and nothing's ever fallen off. But I don't know how many of those could you put on a vinyl surround with that's only attached by the edges. And so I'm like, who designs these things? I've got. I need like 15 shelves in the bathtub. Not for my stuff. I need one.
You get the corner of the tub. That's what you get.
Well, thank goodness we have two showers in the house. Now we're sharing ours. But anyway, that's why we ended up. I said, you know what, my wife was just going around and around. You could tell she did not like anything, and I was like, you know what, I'll just tile it. It's going to take longer, but it's going to be much nicer. Yeah,
when you see your wife going round and round, you're just like, oh, okay.
I could tell she didn't want to ask me.
Yeah,
to tile it. So I just said, I'll tile it. So anywho, good experience, and it's going to come out. It's going to look killer. So anyway, cool. Enough of that. What's going on today in Ohio? Well, JD Vance came into town, stirred everything up. We're going to start with that, I think. But what I'm going to start with, I think, is, so JD Vance came into town, was talking at a Canton steel mill about the big, beautiful bill. So let's hear what Stewart News Channel 5 has to say about it, because we have Morgan Trowell, who is like their only reporter, I think, because every report I ever see is with her in it. But she was there, asked JD Vance a question. JD answered it, but I thought it was weird because this is from her Facebook, or from Channel 5's not Facebook, X account, and she recorded herself on her cell phone asking the question, and then they cut to the video of it was this weird. Like, but anyway, so yeah, it was like.
Oh, you know what? The sound on the video is kind of weak from the reporters, but JD Vance sounds good. Maybe it was just a quality thing.
Well, it is, and I do have a clip from JD Vance because I wanted to get context on everything. So it is, it's like they didn't have a feed from. They were just taking the mic from the room. It sounded like.
Right.
Well, let's see. Maybe this comes through. Hold on. Get it here again. ABC News, Channel 5.
Vice President J.D. Vance made a stop in Canton, Ohio to talk about what the GOP calls the Big Beautiful Bill.
Great American companies are thriving once again.
The legislation allows companies to get tax breaks faster, but the main aspect of the bill is codifying tax changes that Trump made in his first administration. But with tax cuts across the board, something has to give.
Access to health care.
Not only was Medicaid slashed in the budget, but there are now additional work requirements. Medicaid recipients under 65 need to prove that they worked 80 hours per month.
What do you say to those hundreds of thousands of Ohioans that say they will have no health insurance?
Well, what I'd say to those Ohioans is, one, don't believe every false media report that you've heard, because our explicit goal in the Trump administration is to protect people's health care so long as they're working hard, playing by the rules.
The Medicaid changes will go into effect in the coming years.
What was it in the coming years? So like they're not just going to lop off their medical coverage, huh? No, they're going to change all these things over the coming years. So that's why he came into town, was to talk about the Big Beautiful Bill. But he did stir it up a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
And what happens is somebody asks him a question about our little incident in Cincinnati. If people aren't familiar, there was a festival and a fight ensued, and a mob of young black teens were beating up a couple of white people. I mean, I don't know how the fight started, and that's the video you see, regardless of the race.
Let's just put it this way: if it was the opposite, it would have been all over the news for weeks. For much different reasons, or just all over the news. First of all, this was all over the internet. I did kind of go a little bit viral, mainly because there's a guy fighting a couple of other people, and then as he gets knocked out, a woman comes to help him, and some dude comes and slams her in the face and knocks her out. Sucker punches her. Mm-hmm. That's, I think, really what got people. Well, we'll see what JD Vance says too, but go ahead. Oh, it was gross, man.
Yeah. That was the part.
Did you see the pictures of her afterwards?
Yes.
Oh, brutal.
Yeah, you couldn't tell it was her.
Yeah, it was
her face was completely swollen up. So he comes into town, gets asked a question, and they pull out the clip. Here's the Channel 3 web, channel3.com headline. Akron leaders dispute Vice President J.D. Vance's claim city has allowed lawlessness to run wild. So all these quotes, all they come up with is the quote he says, how many of you have all wanted to go downtown Akron or downtown Canton or downtown Columbus for a meal, but you worried because the local authorities in these big cities have allowed lawlessness to run wild? We've got to make a great American cities safe again for families and children. And you usually end there, begin and end there. That's the quotes I've seen. And I'm like, I know there's more to this than that. I heard it myself. So why aren't we giving the whole context? He didn't just come out and say, oh, by the way, these cities are lawless. He's reacting to a question about the lawlessness in Cincinnati, to be honest with you, because there was no police around. From my understanding, there was police on either street adjacent to this one, but this one had none planned that way. They just did every other street, seemingly like they knew that this is where they should go because there'd be no cops there and they can, have a little more fun in the street, all that kind of stuff. And then madness ensued, as usually happens. So I figured, let's pull the clip. Let's see what JD Vance actually said after he was asked the question. So the reporter asks, hey, what about this video? Have you seen it? What are your comments on it? And this is, hopefully we can get, this comes through pretty good, but here's JD Vance.
I've been critical of it.
Okay, yes. So what I saw, and I haven't seen the full context, but what I saw is a mob of lawless thugs beating up on an innocent person, and it's disgusting. And I hope every single one of those people who engage in violence is prosecuted to the full extent of the law. And they will be. They will be so long as law enforcement in the state of Ohio takes their job seriously. I know Dave Yost cares a lot about these things. But yeah, I actually, you're right. Bernie did send me a clip of this, and we talked a little bit about it. I don't know the full context. I don't know how the fight started. But the one part that I saw that was really gruesome is you had a grown man who sucker punched a middle-aged woman. And where I come from, at least, when you have a grown man who sucker punches a middle-aged woman, that person ought to go to jail for a very long time. And frankly, he's lucky there weren't some better people around because they would have handled it themselves. But if they're not going to handle it, the cops in Cincinnati, the law enforcement, you've got to prosecute people. We've had way too much lawlessness on the streets of great American cities. How many of you all have wanted to go to downtown Akron or downtown Canton or downtown Columbus for a meal, but you're worried because the local authorities in these big cities have allowed lawlessness to run wild? We have got to make great American cities safe again for families and children. If you want to take your wife or your children out for a meal, you shouldn't be worried about street violence. And the only way to destroy that street violence is to take the thugs who engage in that violence and throw their asses in prison.
Give me a hell yeah.
That's the quote. That's the quote. A little different there when you hear the little bit. I mean, he's not just going after Akron. He's reacting to a question about a video he just saw not too long ago.
Yeah, the Akron mayor took it personally, I think, right?
Yeah, and some of the city, some people in the city, they have, I was pulling clips from some, I deleted them because they weren't, people are just a little bit upset, my city, it's not that bad. Actually, crime has been down except for rape. Oh, okay.
They went from 2021, I think they had 24 shootings a week now they're down to 12. So yeah, it went down, but you forgot to take into account that there was lockdowns and people weren't working at that time.
I would also
from the time it went down.
I'd also like to ask, were there only 12 shootings or only 12 shootings that were reported or acted on? Because if you cut the police force or stop them from reacting to every, you know what I mean? There's this been whole thing on the police to limit what they do, for equity and all this other stuff. So
yeah,
is that a part of the drop in crimes? Because you're just not going after the crimes, so it's not on the records anymore.
Well, people stop calling if the police stop reacting to them. So
it's true. That could be a point too. So that was, a lot of the comments were, well, have him come to March City, or here's one: when people have a little bit of power, and they're making particular comments about downtowns and not just Akron, Canton, and I think Cincinnati, was it? So so those people are working hard for a living. That's the last thing we need to have someone like that say. So you want to just candy coat it and tell you what you want to hear?
Yeah.
That was, I believe that was a guy from one of the famous cheesesteak place or something in Akron or Canton. Oh yeah, Eddie's Famous Cheesesteak Grill in downtown Akron. That's who that was.
Mm.
So that's fine. Akron's not horrible. No one's saying that Akron and Canton is horrible.
No, they are. Per capita, they're terrible.
You really?
Yeah. I mean, Cleveland's like one of the worst. Akron's up there too. As far as crime goes, yeah. You just can't compare it to. Per capita, it's awful. Chicago or New York, obviously, but Cleveland per capita. But the thing is, nobody reports on it because there's no. I would say there's very little affluent areas in the city. So you don't get those headlines, like you do in Chicago and stuff.
Yeah,
does that make any sense?
Yeah, no, yes. Well, per capita, yeah, I guess that's a good way to look at it, because when you're just comparing it from city to city, that's not fair.
I think Cleveland's fourth highest in the nation for shootings.
4th highest in the nation
per capita. Yeah.
And that's compared. So that's under Chicago, New York, LA, probably one of those.
Something like that.
Those
Yeah.
got to be above it. At least New York and Chicago.
I'm
Chicago's got to be like 1.
Chicago. Yeah, I think
they
Chicago's
got 20 a weekend.
20 to 30, I think.
Some weekends, yeah.
Yeah, if they're even reporting everything there at this point.
Mm-hmm. And in this place like City of Cleveland, the Cleveland City Schools has their own police force. I don't know if you knew this. They literally have their own police force, separate from Cleveland Police. And that's important in this case because I think at least maybe has something to do with it. So they have if the cops arrest a kid who's in the Cleveland City School Districts, in most cases, I mean, violent crimes, I don't think so, but in most cases, they take them to the Cleveland Police Department, Cleveland City School Police Department. And one of the reasons is it's better. It looks better for the school because, they can handle it internally instead of having another kid as another statistic. That comes into a lot of play too, because you can hide stuff that way. And I've talked to a couple of people or a person in the know, and they say, yeah, it's definitely a big reason that they have a partnership with the city of Cleveland. And I mean, in a lot of ways, it's good for the kids too, right? I mean, because they're not being put in the system, they're giving them another chance to a certain extent, so on and so forth. But there's the whole point of that was not get into any. The whole point of that was there's a lot of ways you can hide and tweak the stats in your favor. Because some of these stats I'm seeing, Akron was down 12 and 18% in like shootings and stuff over the last couple of years. Now, maybe that's to your point, maybe COVID. If you're looking from 21 or 22 to 24.
There was a big drop because of that. Lockdowns created a lot of problems. People were home.
And the summer
especially
of love,
with crime.
The summer of love was 21, wasn't it?
Here, I got some stats.
Yeah.
City of Cleveland 2023, there were 38.6 homicides per 100,000 residents. The national average is 8.2 per 100,000. I couldn't get a ranking. I'd have to do a deeper dive.
Wait, the national average is what now?
8.2.
And Cleveland is 38 per
0.6.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Thank you for correcting me.
No.
It's freaking horrible.
It's awful. I couldn't get a national ranking, but they're in the top 10, it says. So I would have to do a deeper dive and probably look into the FBI.
Here's a quote. I think this is Communications Director Dominic Caruso. Did not comment specifically on Vance's remarks, but said he does not think Akron was lawless. Not at all. Akron is a city just like any other city, he said. For the most part, I think we're as safe as we are anywhere in the world.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I was going to take issue to that. It's like, no, there's a lot of places in the world to be much less safe, but.
Okay, I got Akron's homicide rate from, I don't have a year here, but it's 24 per 100. So it's already 3 times higher than national average.
3 times higher than national average.
That
would be. I would consider
Ohio state average is 4.6.
Wow, that's 6 times.
Yeah,
6 times the state average.
Yeah, this mayor and Vance wasn't saying anything wrong here. I mean,
no, good point. No,
and this is something that's never we hear about shootings and homicides, but we never. I guess it's never really talked about. The problem isn't talked about ever.
Yeah, and honestly, I shy away from all those stories, mainly because our whole show would be taken up with shootings every week.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So point to your point, I guess.
Well, when we first started this, I was thinking we were going to mention that, but then when I started, going through stories and saving stories for the show, I was like, we can't talk about shootings. That's all we would talk about. We could do a whole show on shootings.
No, and I just don't want that too.
No,
I mean, even there, there was that shooting in Avon. Was it Avon? No, Lorraine.
Yeah.
With the
Lorraine.
cops, the ambush.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I had it I had it in the show rundown once, and I was like, I don't know, something about it. Just I'm not sure I want to go down that road because
it was big enough that most people heard about it.
Yeah.
So I wasn't too I think we pick things that people don't do a deeper dive into, or even don't even hear about it.
Yeah, it's tragic. I don't know how. I think two ended up dying. At least one.
One died for sure.
Oh, sure. Okay. I asked. Yeah. Unfortunately, it's horrible. There was a weird thing about that. I started pulling it because they found improvised explosives in the guy's car. I don't know if anyone caught that. By the way, that's one of the reasons I was going to bring it up.
No kidding.
I wasn't sure. Yeah, I'm not sure he ambushed them or if they just
wrong place, wrong time
came up upon them. Maybe. Because if you're going to ambush a bunch of cops, so why do you have explosives? And I mean, I guess you could.
Well, they searched the car.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Anyway, they were hanging out down a dead end road, taking a break, eating dinner.
Yep.
So yeah, thank you for doing that because I'm just going to say I get people defending their city. I just don't like the people. Well, just don't tell us the bad stuff.
They're not defending their city; they're defending themselves.
Yeah,
that's
they're defending their votes.
Yep,
they're doing maybe. Speaking of votes, look at that segue. Damn, that was good.
Oh,
speaking of votes, another person who piped up about this is Representative Sykes. Emily Sykes came up and said, "Nuh-uh. I'm deeply and bitterly disappointed in Vice President's remarks about Akron and Canton, two diverse and vibrant communities in Ohio's 13th district." So there's a little something else going on underneath the hood here. I don't know if anyone's aware. The GOP in Ohio is currently looking to redistrict her district out. They're looking to redistrict and eliminate her seat, along with another Democrat. Actually, I don't recall the name. I didn't get it, but there's two. Also, there's a Corey Bowman who's running for mayor in Cincinnati, who is J.D. Vance's half brother. So there's a little bit going on here, more than just his comments. She's trying to save her seat, and she says the impact of the bill isn't what everybody says it's going to be, and like they said in the clip, something's got to give. Healthcare. That's so great.
By the way, Canton's homicide rate is 20 per 100th.
I mean, look at.
a little bit better.
A little bit better, yeah. It's only 5 times the state average.
Yeah.
Instead of 6. So, Sykes says that, here's another quote, "All of it is just to pay for tax cuts for the richest people in this country," Sykes says. "We are going to shoulder the burden and shift all those additional costs to working men and women to help a billionaire get another yacht."
That is literally one of the dumbest things I've ever heard.
Oh, and it's over and over. I've listened to it for 30 or more years of them say this. And I'd love to talk about the wealth disparities in our country, because there's a lot I could agree with. But tax cuts and taxes? No. I think we can look at wealth disparity, and we can look at Washington and wealth disparity in different ways. I look at it in different ways than they do, I guess. Everything's about taxes, and you got to tax the rich, tax the rich, tax the rich. Guess who works around all the taxes? The rich.
Mm-hmm.
They're the ones who can afford accountants to find all the loopholes that, hey, conveniently are always there. They're always there conveniently.
Yeah. You got tax attorneys and everything trying to figure out loopholes for you. That's something that the average person can't do.
Right. So taxing the rich doesn't work because they get around it for the most part. What you end up stifling is those small business owners that are, in the $400,000 and $500,000 a year range. They're the ones that get killed by high taxes for the rich, because they're the ones who are just on the cusp and can't really afford the loopholes, to find the loopholes. That, in my opinion, anyway. So I'm sick and tired of hearing this over and over again.
Oh, I think it's more of the people that are in the mid twos.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
In that range, yeah, 250 to 500.
Yeah, okay.
You got a little bit of money, but not enough to hire the really expensive.
I don't know. You're making $500,000 a year. You can hire some pretty good attorneys, tax attorneys, but you don't have the resources that a corporation has either.
Yeah, and you can hide. I mean, like what's his name, Warren Buffett. Famously, his secretary or his assistant, whatever you call him nowadays, pays more taxes than he does. Well, yeah, because all of his money is in income tax was always the key. She pays more income tax than he does.
Yeah, you're right.
Because he hides his money in stocks.
Well, it's not even. You're not hiding.
Not hiding it. I'm not saying hiding. Yeah, but he gives himself zero salary, so he doesn't have to pay income tax.
Yeah, I don't know if he gets does a zero. I mean, I don't know his thing. I don't think you can do a zero salary, but you can have a $200,000 salary, and you could be worth $1 billion. But people don't get it. People don't understand that you can't tax somebody on what they're worth, because their worth is not. They might own stocks, which isn't really. It's sort of like you don't really have that money until you sell it, and if you sell it, then
you pay tax.
Then you pay tax, but you can't tax them on it. It's unrealized gains, really. That's all it is.
Well, they want to.
Yeah, they want to, but it won't work.
No,
because you sell it, then the stock goes down, and then the people that own the stock are a little PO'd, and it's a juvenile thinking regarding taxing the rich.
Yes, and when by all stats, the rich pay most of the taxes. The top 20% pay almost all the taxes. So pretty federally, at least, it's usually that way. So she's under pressure. She's going to speak out. They're trying to get rid of her district, and I don't think I hate redistricting because I think it's kind of sleazy. I'm not sure why they do it continuously, constantly, over and over again every couple of years.
Isn't that due to population?
Yeah, but if you see some of these districts, man, they are funky to say the least.
Well,
I mean,
don't they? Isn't like kind of moving people or opening up, let's say, building some Section 8 housing in a section kind of can redistrict a red area,
Yeah. What do you mean? Like adding...
Well, they're adding population to areas to kind of to help with the redistricting. I think. I don't know. You know what? I need to look into that more.
Yeah. To influence the redistricting or influence the voting block in that area.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a reason for redistricting. There's a valid reason for it. I just think it's done way too much and way too often. It's done every time there's a change. Every new Congress in Ohio, they redistrict something there. And if you look at the districts, you could just tell they're cherry picking and keeping, regardless of who they're keeping out. I mean, I may agree with keeping some of these people. I may agree with eliminating Sykes' seat because I don't necessarily agree with her, but there's other ways to do it. I don't know. The sword could cut both ways, right?
Yeah, I just haven't. You know what? I want to say stuff, but I can't without having a little bit more information.
Oh, what's stopping you, Tom? Come on.
Well, I know I do it all the time, but this one bugs me a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, there's a valid reason for it. I just think it can be taken advantage of, and a lot of times I think it is. Republicans and Democrats are just trying to be fair. Just trying
politics.
Yeah, it's politics, and that's the problem. I think they're not doing it for other than politics a lot of times.
Mm-hmm.
And man, get rid of those glasses. Come on, was it 1970 again? 60? What's coming? These horn rim glasses are coming back. Come on.
I think they are kind of in style right now.
They totally are coming back. They totally are. Wait, hold on, check my box. Got that one. Okay. And speaking of, I don't know, fundraising and taxes. I don't know. It was a horrible segue. Got some. I think the quarterly filings are in for the governor's race in Ohio. and we got some numbers. And what we found is Amy Acton is killing it in fundraising.
Oh, killing it.
Yeah, she's got some records from Democrat, for Democrat this early in the race. She's got like $1.4 million already that she's raised. The only real problem is Vivek has raised $9.7 million.
Yeah, almost 7 times more,
which is a record,
right?
And they're trying to pull out 60%, only 60% of Vivek's were from Ohio, or hers are 80%, and all this. They're trying to pull all this data. I'm like, well, yeah, but Vivek's a national figure, and Amy isn't.
Yeah, and they're donating to him because they think he's going to win.
And he has rich friends from all around the country. He's a businessman, and so I follow both of them on X, and I figured let's pull two. Let me go just pull 2 random clips from that they've posted on their site and see what they had to say. Because these are our 2 mayoral candidates for next year. Possibly be more. Probably be what's the other Democrat now? I forget his name every time. I can't remember. Anyway,
let me say that again.
What's that?
Say that again. Whose name did you forget?
The other person that might be running for governor.
Tressel?
Well, no, he's not.
Sherrod Brown?
Sherrod Brown. That's it.
Yeah.
I forgot his last couple of shows ago. I couldn't remember. So Sherrod Brown might be coming in the race. I think that's really would be Vivek's only competition, really, I think, at this point. But right now we have Amy and Vivek. Okay, you ready? Let's hear what Amy has to say. So this is a post from her ex. She was on some podcast, and she just kind of what's her vision and all this other stuff. Okay, I'm ready.
My opponent, Vivek Ramaswamy, is like, people are just kind of lazy and mediocre. They're just not working hard enough. I'm like, that's not the Ohioans I am seeing everywhere I go. People are working hard and they're doing the right things. It's just not all adding up anymore. People aren't out here talking about culture wars and the stuff that we hear in the political banter on the news channels. They're talking about having some breathing room, that whether it's themselves or their kid is having trouble buying a house. They're talking about affording childcare, and they're talking about groceries and gas costing like so much more. And then there are folks aging in place on, a fixed income, like once you retire, and their pension's not going as far, and property taxes are rising, and property taxes are rising because the state house is not doing their job, and they're forcing all this stuff on the locals, so they're having to squeeze more and raise taxes. And it always goes back to this dysfunctional, broken state house we have. So what people are really just expressing are what I believe are 80 to 90% of basic issues.
Make it stop! I mean, this is a serious question. It's not me being mean. I really need to know, does she have a speech impediment? I think she has a speech impediment. Or she's drunk. Or she's drunk. I'm not sure.
I don't know what happened. If you listen to, I'm going to put together a supercut. But if you listen to her talking while COVID was happening, every other word was I mean, we do it. We're amateurs and we're not professionals. But she, it was like today in the news, we had 6 people come down with COVID. It was just. So she's been working at whatever training. She's doing. Yeah. Yeah, it's rough.
So I really need to know. I don't know, because she sounds like she's like, like she got a fat tongue or something like that. So I don't know. I'm really just, I really want to know.
Xanax.
Could be. You never know. All right. So in contrast, here's a little clip from, Vivek. He is at a podium. He's speaking at a little gathering about his vision.
But my dream for my kids is to follow a little different path than I did. I want them to achieve the same American dream that I did. It's not all about money, but about purpose and meaning and living a life of dignity. To do it not by pursuing that in New York City or some other place, but to do it right here in the state of Ohio because that's where the best opportunities are actually available to them. And that's why I'm in this race to be a governor, to revive what we think of as the American dream. I'll call it the Ohio dream right here in the state of Ohio. A state where if you work hard, you play by the rules, you get to have a good life and dream for an even better life for your kids. A state where we have great paying jobs available right here because we have an economic boom that lifts up not just the people at the top, not just people like me who have been entrepreneurs, have been successful, but lifts up the entirety of our state. A state where every one of our kids views it as their birthright to have a world-class education that I think every Ohioan and every American actually deserves. And that includes not just education to put people on a path to 4-year college degrees, which is my path to the American dream, but also for every young man and young woman, every son and daughter of our state who wants to be a welder or a mechanic or a carpenter or an electrician or a machine operator or a plumber or a pipe fitter, to also live that same American dream without any man or system or government or bureaucracy standing in their way. To me, that's the Ohio dream that we're going to fight for.
Yeah, just a little bit of a contrast there. I think regardless of what they're saying, their delivery is, I just don't understand how anybody can listen to Amy Acton more than 10 seconds, man. It's just,
you know what's funny is the Ohio Democratic Party isn't much different than the National Democratic Party. There's no talent there.
No.
You know?
At least Sherrod Brown would be, I mean,
he's rough to listen to too.
He's not right, but he's I mean, I don't know. It's her tone, it's her cadence, everything. It's just, it screams Karen to me.
Yeah. Well, it's a lot harder for a woman to run for a larger position than a guy. Because of that, I think that's, you get that, you have that grating voice. It's kind of tough to overcome.
You can, but you can overcome it, I think. But some people can't. Yeah, there's some women who probably can't. Yeah, I've dealt with that professionally a little bit. You know, if you're in a male-dominated industry and you sound like a nagging wife, I was like,
well, it's a wife doesn't want to hear a nagging wife,
right? Well, that's too. Yeah.
You know, that's the problem. It's not just you're losing the guys; you're losing women too. Women like, you know, I think most women like somebody with a bit of authority in their voice and a little bit of, let's say, I don't know how to say it, but
cojones.
Yeah, just nobody likes a Karen except other Karens.
My second half of that was what I've seen in professionally is women who are bosses usually have the most problems from women, other women, their subordinates,
right?
Backs there. The guys will like normal guys will just tell you suck to your face. I mean, right or wrong doesn't matter. I'm not saying. But the women will, from my experience is when they turn their backs, the boss, that's when the women start throwing the arrows.
Right.
It's just a different, and it's that way in high school. It's the two different sexes. It's just the way we handle things.
Mm-hmm.
But so yes, it was Hillary Clinton.
Yeah.
I mean, oh my gosh.
You can't sit there and listen to Hillary or Kamala or Senator Warren, what was her name? Pocahontas.
Elizabeth Warren. Yep.
Elizabeth Warren. Yeah, you listen to them for a few minutes and you're just like, your skin starts crawling.
Okay, examples of that in the opposite. See, back in the day would be, well, right now would be Secretary or the Director of National Intelligence.
Tulsi Gabbard.
Tulsi Gabbard.
Yeah, she's great.
How about our White House Secretary or White House?
I forget what her name is. Kayleigh? It's like, is it Kayleigh?
No, it was. Oh, from the last.
That was the last one, right?
She was awesome. I mean,
she
that was
great.
somebody.
And this one's good too. But
anyway, yeah, but authoritative, but not whiny, and just I don't know. There's a way you can do it, but some not. But yeah, you're right. That's a fair
Caroline
point.
Levitt.
Caroline Levitt. Yep. There's plenty of examples of those.
No,
there
it's
just it is harder. You're right.
Yeah, there are women that don't have that kind of voice. I think Tulsi Gabbard's probably the best example of that type of where she can give a speech and you never feel like you're being there's no grading to her voice at all. So and
just be fair, I've heard men do similar things. I know in work and professionally, I've been at sales meetings and vendor meetings or whatever where boring as snot, put you right to sleep. I mean, it's not the same, but similar. So
yeah,
I just want to be fair to both.
I don't know. I'm just saying what I think most people feel when they hear, some of these people talk. I don't know.
I heard many people tell me that during the last presidential election.
Mm-hmm.
Nope, can't vote for her.
Yep, and lots of women said that.
Yes, lots of women. On that note, if you need to get a hold of us, crookedrivercast.com is where you can find out where to find us. You can go there. You can find out where we're at on X. You can find out our email is crookedrivercast@gmail.com. Shoot us an email. Give us some help with the show if you think we need it, and tell us what we're missing, or what we're wrong about. All right. You can always do that. We'll take those too. crookedrivercast.com. All right. On to the next story, which I pulled back over from last week because we never got to it. AI. It's everywhere, Tom. Yay. So, to this story from is News Channel 5, of course. Who else would it be? And the headline of the story is not just tech companies using AI, using AI. Northeast Ohio businesses are embracing it too, but who else? And let's try with a News Channel 5 clip. Well, I'll start with, let me set it up a little bit. So mainly the story started off with Summit County last week started using AI for all non-emergency calls. So if you're not calling 911, but if you call just the police department or whatever non-emergency number they have, between the hours, used to be just between the hours of 7 p.m. and 11 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's all AI.
Oh, really? Yeah. Even emergency calls?
Non-emergency calls. All non-emergency calls.
So, it's 24/7 now.
It's going to be 24/7. Yeah. So right now, it used to be 16 hours a day, and this is now going to be AI is going to be 24/7 for all non-emergency calls. And here's a little backgrounder from News Channel 5 on where AI and what's going to be like. And I mean, of course, they gave it a name because what do you always do with your AI but name it? And let's see what they have to say.
It comes as a bit of a surprise for some in Stowe, calling the police's non-emergency line and hearing this.
Stowe Police's non-emergency line. My name is Ava. How can I help you?
And AI named Ava launched last month that collects callers' information, analyzes it, and in some cases helps directly.
What are you trying to report?
Or passes along that information to dispatchers and police. Come Friday, Stowe Police, along with 18 other police departments and fire departments whose calls are handled by the Summit Emergency Communications Center, will fully roll out using AI 24 hours a day to handle their non-emergency calls. We're told that amounts to about 20 to 25,000 calls a month.
25,000 calls a month.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. So they are going to implement. It's already implemented last week, and there is going. So they've got it certain. There's a bunch of keywords that will trigger the AI to send you right to the 911 call center. And gee, I can't imagine what happens when people find out what those words are. So once the AI hears those words, it's trained quote unquote trained to send you over, transfer you over to 911 or to a human dispatcher. I'm not sure if they're 911. They're just saying you could send to a human. I mean, I can see where this is helpful for the city as far as saves money because you don't have to staff that all the time now. I'm sure those people are pretty expensive.
Yeah. Do you save on taxes though?
Yeah, they're not giving you a rebate on your taxes for sure.
Right.
To me, this is the natural evolution of this technology, and that is a phone tree. I mean, this is a glorified phone tree, basically. And this is exactly what people hated about automation, over the last 15 or 20 years. Everywhere you call, you can't talk to a human.
Right. It takes a while. But
And
sometimes if you say the F word, it'll take you right to an operator.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And this whole website's dedicated to just here's the number combination you need to dial to get to a human for AT&T. Press 0 3 times, 1 0, something like that.
I think if you start dropping F-bombs, it just automatically takes you to a human.
I can imagine. Yeah. I think, like I said, certain words, I'm sure we can all come up with some that gets you right over to somebody pretty quick from the AI. But they go on this report because there's other things than just AI, other things than just police departments doing AI. And we'll just touch on this a little bit. This is we're going to talk about Howard Hanna, and I'm not sure this is AI, but you tell me.
And it's not just the super smart call screeners where we're seeing artificial intelligence take over. Across all sorts of industries, this new tech is transforming how the same old things are done. Take buying and selling a home.
It is amazing in the last 18 months how much we're using different forms of AI and where we think it's going.
Over the course of 68 years, Howard Hanna built a real estate empire. Ask CEO Hobie Hanna, and he says they're at another inflection point, similar to 1994, when they were one of the first real estate companies to highlight their homes on the World Wide Web. Right now, they're building out an AI division, looking at ways they can improve, reinventing how people search for a home, from the keyboard to receiving suggestions.
It's no different than, say, Netflix when you watch shows on Netflix and it's sort of gauging what you like then teeing up for you. As the AI sees that you're saving certain pictures or forwarding them or saying you like a certain style of design of house or bathrooms or kitchens, it saves that and starts teeing up in your search criteria.
Beyond that, Hanna says eventually AI could scrape online data to find telltale signs that someone is about to sell a home. As for the future of real estate agents, Hanna says they're safe.
If I'm leery about it in any sense, is we still have to remember it's not human. It's that, and when you're talking about most people's home that they're buying and selling, it's their castle. You need that human touch and that real estate agent, but I think it's going to create an efficiency for real estate agents.
Yeah. You're just trying to save your job, and it's totally going to work, but we're totally going to still need humans. Okay.
It's gonna. I think it's going to be an interesting next 4 to 5 years.
Well, what he described is not AI.
No, it's just I don't know.
It's just the computer looking for a pattern.
Yeah,
you looked at a 4-bedroom house with 2 baths. Here's a bunch of other 4-bedroom houses with 2 baths.
Right.
I think they called him up for an interview, and he says, "I have to say something about AI because if I don't, my stock will crash." Or what? I don't know if they're even public.
Maybe.
But a lot of what I've seen is it's a lot of marketing. A lot of companies are taking what the technology you already have and just converting the marketing to AI, such as Apple. Apple's been talking about machine learning for a decade, and they just switched it to AI 2 years ago. It's the same technology.
Right. It's the same thing, yeah.
Same exact things. And that's what they're talking about here. And that's a lot of what the police department is talking about. It's just machine. This response should have these 4, one of these 4 answers, or this question or whatever from the caller should have one of the. I don't think it's actually doing any thinking and learning on its own. But maybe.
There's no such thing as AI, artificial intelligence. That's all BS. That's marketing.
Yes, I think there is definitely there is some AI out there. I just don't think we're seeing it at the public level. And I think a lot of that AI is when you hear these stories about how the AI did exact opposite of what the programmers were asking it to do. You know, for example, they make an AI to do this one task A, and it learns it and it's fine with it. It's good with it. And then they now tell it to do task B and train it to do it differently, to do it this way. And the AI will say, yeah, good. I'm good. Yeah, this is good. Awesome. And then when they leave, the AI does it the first way. You know what I mean? So it's like, this is a better way than the way I'm doing it my way now.
Yeah, it's still just programming though.
But it's making a decision to go against what its programmers are saying. We've heard these stories over and over again. How true they are, we don't know. But
yeah, I think that's a lot of BS.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just programming. It can't think. You know, it just knows what you told it.
That's a good point.
You know, it maybe it's doing stuff like that, going back to the first way, or doing a different way of doing it. But how did it figure that out? It's gathering information, and it's just math. It's all just math, isn't it?
No, that's a good point. Then why the hell can't it do math? Well, I've heard, early on, I don't know if they still have that problem, but math was an issue for ChatGPT for quite a while. I don't know,
because the woke had 2 + 2 = 5 in there, and that's what it was using as a learning model. So,
do you think that that's a thinking computer when they put it out on the internet and it turns, it turns racist, or it turns fascist, or it turns you know what I mean? You've heard those stories, right?
Yeah. No, it's scrubbing the internet, and it's finding what's probably it's still scrubbing the internet, looking for information, and it's putting it all together. And then if it finds more of this kind of information, that's what it's going to do.
That's what it's going to lean towards. Yeah. It's just following the pattern and doing, this is what I'm supposed to be, because this is what I'm seeing. And it may not be it's just what's viral maybe at the time.
Right. Really, exactly.
What's really true about the society and all that stuff. So, yeah. So
there was like there was an interesting take that I heard today or this week about AI, and it was Elon Musk and him buying Twitter, changing it to X. And it was like, he really never cared about the freedom of speech. He wanted the information to build an AI, because you got people on using X. And one of the reasons to, now if you want a blue check mark, you have to give them your ID and all that kind of thing. So, and for him, he did that mainly so the training the AI, they know the users, which ones are human, most likely human. And that's what it's using to train.
Yeah, that's a good point. You know, and he wants, originally it was kind of like he wanted that one app, right, for everything.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that too.
It was multiple. I think multiple reasons he bought it.
Yeah, but I mean,
he bought it to make money. He bought it to make money.
Of course. Yeah. But I mean, I guess I went off on a tangent here, but AI is just nothing but scrubbing the internet, or just data in, data out. I don't know.
No, it's a good point on Musk. I mean, AI was in his, on his radar, and what a better way to just do multiple things. Let me get rid of this nonsense on Twitter with government and everybody being involved and banning and shadow banning. I can make some money. I can also have a free source basically for my AI.
Yep.
Yeah,
and he tried improving it by, he hasn't gotten rid of the bots, but I think he could tell who the bots are, or what they're up to.
And it's not like, what's Google doing? I mean, Google's AI Gemini is doing the exact same thing, and it's just on a larger scale.
Larger scale, but I think Google's failing. But whatever.
They're falling behind for sure. Yeah. But it's fun. I was good on a tangent. I was reading an article. Maybe we cover next week on the Intel thing. I think I'm going to put in next week's rundown. It's pretty interesting on all that, all the shenanigans, we'll call it, around that whole Intel plant thing.
Okay.
So, but the next on our list. So yeah, AI everywhere. So anytime you call, and you never know who might answer. might be Ava, or Howard Hanna might put your house up for sale before you even know you want to put your house up for sale.
Yeah, you rent the storage locker, and then they're putting your house up for sale before you.
Exactly. They're like, oh, all of a sudden here's a check in the mail for your. You're like, wait,
yeah, that's a little creepy, right?
Yeah, it was exactly. That was a creepy part. Hey, but I mean,
you know what? AI is nothing but spyware. It's just a different level of it at this point.
So the only thing I've seen good use for it is it makes me sound smarter in my emails.
You know, it has its place.
Yeah, it's a good tool. It can be a tool. It can be a tool. All right, and on to the next story, which we have. Our tax holiday has started, Tom.
Yay!
Tax holiday.
From August 1st to the 14th, right?
Yes, thank you. For the next 2 weeks, starting yesterday, August 1st, or excuse me, we're recording this on Saturday the 2nd. So it is starting. So for the next couple weeks, anything under, well, as my daughter said, yay, no tax, Dad. I said, what does that mean? She goes, I don't have to pay the government. I said, okay, how much? What does that mean for you, though? She goes, things will be cheaper. I said, by how much? 8%, Dad. And I was like, yes, I did my job.
Excellent.
And I said, but don't you dare think about buying a boat or an RV because you're going to pay full tax on that. Anything over $500.
Yeah. I don't even know where are you going to get an RV for under $500? Well, like, why do you even list that?
Yeah. You would think the $500 cap would cover the RV and the boat.
Right.
Stuff. But if you can find an RV for under $500, don't buy it.
Yeah.
Don't buy it.
You might have some issues with it.
It's probably got a nice smell in there somewhere. So here, I got an article here real quick from the Ohio Press Network. And they're saying, yeah, I mean, holidays, it wipes out sales tax for nearly everything priced at $500 or less, extended for 2 weeks. Exemption covers clothing, electronics, books, dine-in food, beverages, and other items. Watercraft, outboard motors. This is an odd one to have it specifically. Yeah. Outboard motors, motor vehicles, alcohol, tobacco. Oh, come on.
All the fun stuff.
Alcohol, tobacco, vape products are all, and items that contain marijuana not covered. Ugh.
But it doesn't. But it does include bullets.
Oh, that's true.
Ammo. Ooh. It's a good time to.
It is a good time to stock up on ammo. That is true. That is a good point. I got to remember that. But they do go into the. So, however, Institute of Taxation and Economic Policy recently released a new report saying that the 18 states that still have sales tax holidays will lose $1.3 billion.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. You mean we'll keep $1.3 billion in our pocket? Is that what you mean?
What about the children?
It's always about the children. Sales tax holidays are ineffective and gimmicky. Yeah. Unless you're smart enough to buy all of your school supplies for going back to school during these 2 weeks and save you $200 or $300 easily per family, maybe. Is that gimmicky? No, it's not.
Well, I did a little research on this Institute of Taxation and Economic Policy. Mm-hmm. Okay. So they're funded by the Ford Foundation, the Wellspring Philanthropic Fund, the Rockefeller Foundation, and Mary Reynolds Babcock Foundation. Other donors listed are American Federation of Teachers, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, National Education Association.
Oh my gosh. Nice.
The Robert Wood Johnson Foundation, W.K. Kellogg Foundation.
I'm not breaking my bell, Tom.
And this is very left-leaning progressive institute that I don't even, it's just a progressive institute that wants you taxed to death, basically.
I love how they say it, though. The states will lose $1.3 billion. Not that people will get to keep $1.3 billion, but the state will lose it. Oh, no.
Oh, hang on a second. I saw something else here. Their mission centers on informing policymakers and public about equitable tax systems, which they frame as nonpartisan.
Equitable. There's the key word right there. Equitable.
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean? What does that mean? Equitable. What's equity and what's equitable? What's equality? So equity is the, correct me if I'm wrong, equity is the equal outcome.
Yeah.
And equality is equal beginning or equal opportunity. That's it.
Opportunity, yeah.
Equality is equal opportunity. Equity is equal outcome. So that's impossible, people, in a lot of cases. So
it's possible. It's just called communism.
Well, right. So it's not. So yeah. Again, not possible because they always fail.
Yeah.
Not one has ever.
Oh, okay.
So yeah. Anyway, so go out and buy and make your state lose as much money as you possibly can in the next 2 weeks. How's that?
Yeah. No, it's a good time to stock up on things like ammo.
Yeah. Ammo. It's
whatever. I think we mentioned it a few years ago, or a few shows ago that it's a good time if there's things you want to buy but you're saving up for, it's a good time to do it now. And
yes, it is.
You could fill up your cart with $1,000 worth of I think you can't spend more than $500 on one product. But like if you bought like $1,000 worth of ammo, I think that's still, I think you still save on that. Because
it says everything priced at $500 or less.
Right. So I think you could fill up your cart in Amazon with a bunch of different items that can equal whatever, as long as not one of those items is over 500.
Okay. So even, if you had a bunch of items that are all under 500 going to 1,000, it should work. Yeah, that's actually not
bad. I think so. I'm about 90% sure on that.
And I really think that this time of year is specific because it's back to school season. And this is when families buy lots of taxable goods.
Mm-hmm.
And is a good time if you're smart enough to take advantage of it. You could families could save hundreds of dollars over the next 2 weeks if they buy it. Yeah.
Yep.
You've got clothes, all this, pencils, book bags, all kinds of stuff. So take advantage. Lose the state some money, please.
Any sports equipment that you need, all that's, you could save some bucks.
Yes. All right. Tax holiday check.
And it's a good way to stiff the state too. So
yes, that's what I'm saying. See how much money you can make the state lose this next 2 weeks, please. Let's have a contest. Send us your most lost money for the state to crookedrivercast@gmail.com. Yes. So off of the tax holiday onto, where's my weed money? The cities are saying.
Yeah, I tried reading this, but I couldn't get into the story.
Well, I was going to say, let me pull this back up because it's not, there it is. I get in the story, but it's the shortest story ever. You think there's more to this story?
There is.
Is that the story?
This is the, it's Cleveland.com and it's a subscription.
Yeah, but usually it's like faded out and you could see it, but it just ends.
Oh.
You know what I mean? I think this is the story. I think Sean McDonald should probably, I hope he didn't get paid much for this because this article is 2 paragraphs. It's not even 100
wrong
words.
Business if he got paid for this. Jesus.
So the Ohio's supposedly racked up about $55 million in recreational marijuana tax revenue that has not been distributed to the communities. For reference, they're saying Cleveland's 7 dispensaries alone could account for roughly $887,000 in tax revenue, which, if you've ever been to the city of Cleveland, they can really use. They've got
really, you want to give them that money?
Yeah, they got lawlessness problem in Cleveland. We talked about that earlier.
Yeah, they're not going to spend it wisely.
Remember the downtown police patrol, safety patrol, which is the Cuyahoga County Sheriff's Department, who was spending $1 million a year over their budget? Yeah, they could use some because it's so unsafe. They can use $800,000, but I mean, they're not going to use it for that. They're going to build a statue of Superman or something. But nearly a year after sales begun, none of the money has made it to Cleveland or any other city that agreed to host dispensaries, and cited in part by the promise of a cut of the revenue. So they were promised when this whole bill was passed that they would get 15% or some percentage of the tax revenue, and nobody's seen a dime. So my question is, where's the money at?
Up in smoke.
Republicans, where's the money at? What are you doing with it? And why doesn't the cities get it? If that was what was promised, it needs to be done. And nobody probably has any answers. So, and I mean, we'd go on to literally articles. I read the whole article right there. That was it.
Yeah, it was like 3 sentences.
Yeah, that's fine. It really not a whole lot to be said other than, hey, I mean, there could be some investigating reporting, maybe asking maybe a couple phone calls.
I was going to say a little, investigate a little. Yeah. Jeez.
What are you going to do? We will look in. I mean, it's going to continue to go up. And I believe in the last budget, I believe there was a stipulation in that they were going to try to rip all that money away from the cities. Like they changed. They wanted. No, it hasn't gone through yet. That was one of the things that hadn't gone through yet. It got put on hold.
Okay.
So they were talking about revamping that and taking all of that and not giving the cities any of the tax money. Just keep it all in the state general fund.
They're taking back their word.
Yeah.
They're going back on their word, I should say.
I believe so. I mean, that's what entices cities to allow it to be in their city, is to get the extra tax revenue.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like there's a bait and switch, as they would call it, I think. All right. Next is we wanted to get an update on the Citizens for Property Tax Reform, the ballot or the not ballot, but the petition going around to get a ballot initiative to outlaw all constitutional amendment to outlaw all property tax in Ohio. So I did some digging. There's not a whole lot going on. I mean, there's petitions still going on, and they're collecting signatures. Definitely not, obviously not going to be this year. It's going to be in 2026 for the primary, I believe, or the.
Mm-hmm. I think they're going to try to get it on the general.
It'll be on the mayoral race.
Yeah.
For late next year.
Governor race.
Mayoral race. Get my government's right. And they are going to, so they're pushing for that, and they're still collecting petitions. And they have, so I did some digging trying to see, I didn't really see any news articles about it, any updates on it. I went to the Citizens Tax Reform website, which they have some stuff on there. And what it came down to is they need some help. They can use some help on their website. And do they have a podcast? They have some, what they call radio broadcasts on their website, which are hard to listen to because they're not downloadable, or they are. It's weird anyway. And it's from I think it's a Christian station out of somewhere in Ohio that they go on weekly or something like that and talk about it.
Right.
But I think they need some help on their website. Would help. But anyway, I did find a report from WKBN 27. I think they're it's out of Youngstown. It's Youngstown local news about a petition in Boardman, Ohio. They had a petition signing campaign, and they had some news cameras there, and we'll see what they had to say.
A steady stream of people in Boardman this evening could signal growing support to eliminate property taxes in Ohio. Many showed up to sign petitions to get the issue on the ballot. First News anchor Stan Boney was there. He has our top story tonight at 10.
Whoa, what was that?
The line at Boardman's Magic Tree restaurant stretched the length of the deck. People waiting to sign a petition to have property taxes eliminated in Ohio.
Mine, just as everyone else's, have been going up exponentially. Terrible.
The petition, if approved, would place on the November 2026 ballot a constitutional amendment outlawing all property taxes in Ohio.
It's plain and simple. We're being taxed out of our home.
Boardman's Mark Brandenstein helped organize the petition drive. He was pleased with the turnout.
Everybody kept their mouth shut for 30, 40 years. Nobody said anything to help out the property owner. Well, now we're going for the juggler.
There's a lot of stories out there. People have found themselves in trouble.
Denise DeFabio showed up to support the signing. She is also circulating petitions.
I think the way it's calculated now is not fair because it's based on what they say your property's worth, and you're not maybe selling your home, but yet you're paying a high price every single year.
I think it will pass, and I think it will pass comfortably.
Boardman State Representative Tex Fisher showed up to support the effort one day after voting to override one of Governor Mike DeWine's property tax vetoes, which Fisher said was not enough.
I think the legislature, as much as some of us are trying, we are paralyzed by our inability to make a decision.
Property taxes pay for schools, police and fire departments, parks, roads, and bridges. what happens to those services if property taxes are eliminated.
I would say the trustees of the townships in Ohio and the county commissioners better start working now. Better get down to work now to figure out how they're going to do this funding.
I would say a sales tax, but it's up to Columbus. It's not up to us.
And it's going to be our job in the legislature to figure out how to fund these critical services and programs.
There are other petition signing events planned to eliminate the property tax in Ohio. There will be one on Saturday morning in Salem and Sunday afternoon in Austintown. In Boardman, Stan Boney, WKBN 27 First News.
That guy's got to have the best name in all of Ohio's. Tex is his name. So it's still going on, and they're getting support. And they filled, they probably had 30, 40, 50 people there maybe, look like, from the video. So it's moving along. They could use some more media attention, I'm pretty sure. And they were down there. Beth Blackmar and David Massey, two people are kind of heading up this movement. They were down at the Capitol when the Republicans were in the House, were overriding that one veto last week or week before, whenever it was.
Mm-hmm.
And they were talking in front of cameras, but there was barely anybody there as far as protesters. So I think they could use some more media attention. I think the best way to get it is get the petition signed and approved, and they're going to get plenty of media attention. Maybe not what they want, but it's going to be plenty of media attention.
There's going to be scare tactics happening for
fear
months.
Porn.
Yeah,
fear porn is coming. Oh, trust me, it's coming. And good to hear they're still at it. And I think they need more attention. So let's see what we can do. We'll put the links in the show notes again. Crookedrivercast.com. Check out the show notes in your favorite podcast app. We'll get links in there too. And then we'll got to keep the movement going.
Yeah, I'm kind of interested what's going to happen with Vivek when Vivek is running, and this is happening at the same time. I'm curious as what's going to happen there, because Vivek's walked back the eliminating state property tax. He's walked it back. He wants to reform it, but he's walked back eliminating it. So I'm kind of curious. It's going to be interesting.
I would say makes sense for a primary for him to go to the center and maybe soften it a little bit. So
right.
Maybe we have a little bit of that. And he's been for cutting income tax and property tax, and as he said, in the right way. You can't just lop it off and expect not to have issues. So maybe he's thinking, steps or whatever. But you're a good point. I'd like to see how he's going to react to. He's going to support it or not. Might be pretty interesting to see.
It might be a 1-2 punch for him too. If both things are on the ballot, because who's going to vote for a Democrat, and it could be there could be a strategy here too, or at least in his game plan, I guess.
Yeah, good turnout could help voter turnout if you have certain things on the ballot. Get people more motivated to go, and if they're going to go vote for yes for this, they're going to vote yes for Vivek too. So keep an eye on that. As always, that'll keep going on, and we'll give you updates every little while whenever we feel the need, and we keep forgetting about it because, again, like I said in past shows, done renting my house. Your parents are done renting their house. My father's done renting his house, and we got to stop this nonsense.
Yep.
Next on the list, good old D Rhino is my new nickname. I pulled that from
was that
Alan from the Windsor Report? He calls it D Rhino. I like that. D-Rhino. So the Indians have had some issues as of late with some gambling problems with one of their pitchers.
Mm. One or two?
So of course, one. Is it two? Both on Indians?
I heard there's. Go
ahead.
I heard there was two, but whether they were from the Indians, I don't know.
There are two. I did read that there were two sports. I know definitely one was Indians pitcher
It says governor's request comes as 2 Cleveland Guardians pitchers are being investigated. Yeah.
So, of course, DeRhino has to get involved in the mix and try to ruin everybody's day. He wants to, and this is where I'm coming from. I don't gamble. I think it's silly, to be honest with you. But I get I've done it before. I've sat at the blackjack table at the Bellagio. I mean, the $5 blackjack table, the only one there. I mean, and you know how long ago that was if you ever been in a Bellagio. They don't have a $5 table anymore.
Really?
But yeah, they only had one in the whole casino, blackjack table, $5. Everything else was 25 and up. But anyway, I had fun doing it. I could see the attraction to it. It doesn't it's not it for me. So DeWine wants to get rid of prop bets in Ohio because of these Indians pitchers.
What are prop bets?
So prop bet is, in this instance, I believe it was something like, okay, in the first inning, what are the chances of him striking out all 3 pitchers in a row, or even less than that? The first inning, he'll throw less than 10 pitches.
Right. Okay,
or something
I got
to that
you.
effect. It could be anything.
Right.
I mean, for the Super Bowl, I mean, they have prop bets on the halftime show.
Right, the coin flip, all that kind of stuff.
Everything.
Yeah. Okay.
So you're not betting on the outcome of the game. You're betting on things that happen during the game.
Right.
But there are things that an athlete can control directly, especially a pitcher.
Mm.
I mean, if he places a prop bet that he's going to throw, or he places a bet against himself that he's going to, let's say, throw more than 10 pitches in an inning, well, all he has to do is throw a couple balls in the dirt, right?
Yeah, but you shouldn't have bets like that. It should be more like how many can he strike out in an inning? Because he can't control that. I mean, he can control it as far as like doing it, but he can't control the outcome necessarily.
Okay,
unless he got in with the hitters.
True, and there's something there. We've had stories of those things going on. I mean, there's a great documentary on the NBA and the refs that all got involved. A couple of them got involved in this, and they were penalizing.
Yeah, you know what? I didn't even think about the ref.
Yeah, they were penalizing umpires. Yeah, and they weren't in cahoots with the players, but there was one ref in particular that was the focus of the documentary, and he could, if you do a late penalty in a game, you can, and especially in play or basketball, you can really determine the outcome of the game. And at least when you're talking about over unders and all that kind of stuff, I don't know. I don't think there's anything for the government to do here. I think DeWine should just shut his pie hole, and I think the Indians should, and the league should get their crap in order and stop their players from betting. I mean, I don't think it's up to the state to do anything. It's up to the Indians to do, or Major League Baseball.
Well, yeah. Is it? Well, I don't know.
I mean, what's to stop them from doing it in Vegas?
That's true. That's true.
Or online, or there's other ways to do it. You can get around all that stuff. I just think it's the rhino just trying to be a rhino, and latch on to.
That's the overly concerned the rhino. I mean, just punish the players.
Yeah,
it's just like anything else in life.
Yeah, I think it's the NBA problem, MBL, Major League Baseball problem, not Ohio problem. In my opinion. MLB, NBL, Major Baseball League. I mean, it works.
That works.
All right, so the rhino, stick your nose, keep it out of our game. You already want to double the taxes. Talking about that every time. Double the taxes. Last on our news list for the regular stuff is I just wanted to bring this up real quick. The Lakewood is considering some new rules on temporary rentals in their city. What are temporary rentals?
Yeah, what is that?
Airbnbs.
They probably want more money.
Well, you would think, why would you have to worry about it in Lakewood? But I have an Airbnb on my street.
Do you?
Yep.
No kidding.
I would challenge everyone to go on any one of these sites. Airbnb. If you go on Airbnb or there's Vrbo or a couple other ones, they're usually on every site. Usually, if you're on one, you're on all of them.
Mm-hmm.
And look in your neighborhood and see if there's any. There is one on my street, at the end of the street, and I could see. I've rented Airbnbs and other services, Verbos and stuff, and we are very mindful of the fact that we're visitors. But for example, Airbnb has had a temporary ban on all parties, and they just made it permanent. If you have a party and get a complaint, you're going to be removed from the property. You're not going to be refunded, and your account will get dinged or something like that.
Right.
Because people are renting houses for the weekend and just having just huge parties there, and people are really getting sick of it. And I could see why they're doing this. So what they're going to do is they want to put like a regulation on it that if you're doing this, you have to register, and that way you have yearly inspections. I really think they're just trying to put some sort of friction on this, some sort of, just to make it that anybody can't just put their house up. Make it something more, put some barriers around it.
Yeah,
barriers.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for. Which I get, there's that part of me that says, it's my house. Let me do what I want. But like I said,
you got neighbors.
Yep. Don't break my leg. Don't pick my pocket. I don't care what you do. But if you're renting a house next to me on a Tuesday and you're having a bash, you're affecting me, and obviously not harming me in a way, but you're incurring my, or you're messing with my rights. What if you're, go ahead. I don't know.
If my neighbor has a party, I'm cool with that. You know what I mean? Like, if my neighbor's having a party, I'm fine with that. But if he's renting his house out for somebody else to have a party, I'm like, well, I didn't move next to a club.
Yes, you're intruding on my tranquility, or whatever you want to call it. Not necessarily breaking my leg, but that's all on the same lines, in my opinion. So that's where this comes in. And there's nothing you can really do at the time. And we've had no issues on our street, but it's not the probably not the hottest Airbnb.
Probably not, but it's a good location if somebody's in town for downtown events.
Yeah, it's not bad. So watch out for that. I know there's more and more cities, and like any home association basically has this covered already. We've rented in some areas, like in Arizona, where you really weren't supposed to, and there's ways around it. You can get, but it works. We love renting houses. Actually, it's the only way we really go anywhere. So, because with a family, I don't want a hotel room. Airbnbs are awesome. Not if I live there, I guess. And that wraps up our stories for the week, but we still have one thing left to give you.
What's that?
We bring good things to life.
Nice.
Some good things for the end of the show, as always. I think the one is the one you pulled up from last week that we pushed up this week, which was you got a release party or some,
August 16th. August 16th at, what is that club called? It's in Cleveland Heights. It's that little grog shop.
Yep.
Grog shop. It's there's a band called Saban. They're performing on August 16th at the Grog Shop. It's their record release party. They Call Me. The album's called They Call Me. And it's kind of cool. This band is like a ska punk band, and it's comprised of, I think everybody's under 18. They started when they were like, I don't know when they started, but I think they were like around 14 years old.
Is all girls too? All women?
It looks like it. The drummer's a boy, but he's got long hair. He's young. He's kind of.
Oh, I see him. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Now you could tell, right? You got to take a second look. Yeah. Because he's surrounded by girls.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So it's hard, and he's young, so it's hard to tell. But it's the band is, let me see here, run by Sophia and Sylvia Park, and they were horn players in grade school, or I think it might have been like what's that called before high school?
Middle school.
Middle school. Yeah. And junior high or whatever.
Junior high, there you go.
And they couldn't stand it, but then they got turned on to their father's music, which is kind of like that 90s influence. Let's see here. I'm sorry, I didn't have everything written down.
No, they have her dad's. So I thought that my dad's music and his love for Warped tour bands.
Yeah.
He introduced me to the music, into that music.
Yeah, and I think they say a music camp, but I think it was from the School of Rock.
Oh, okay,
I think they went to. So that's where they all met, and they started a band, and they started playing a few gigs, and they're releasing their first record. I got a little live segment there that I'll play here.
Once again, we are Sabon, an original ska punk band, and we're all under the age of 18, which is pretty cool. And I can say that till October. Anyway, back to the music. Let's speed things up by slowing things down. You'll never know.
So go check him out. Sabon.
Nice. That sounds cool.
Yeah.
16, 17, 18 years old. Wow, that's awesome.
It's just good to see young people playing instruments in bands.
In Cleveland, Ohio. In Ohio,
yeah. So
that's
Sabon.
Awesome.
It's
Sabon.
Capital, all capitals, Sabon. Sabon, and it's an acronym. Scant a buck 09. And I am too old to understand what the hell that means.
Okay, I'm sure there's some website that'll tell us, but
so yeah, go check them out.
Good. Yeah, definitely check them out. That's awesome.
It's I got that article from the Scene magazine, so you could look them up in the Scene magazine.
Next on the good things is it's Karate Kid, baby. Karate Kid in Westchester, Ohio, I guess. There is a dojo in Westchester, Ohio that went on to, what was it? Is it nationals? No, it's the world. It's a world karate. No crap. Now I'm looking for it. Didn't write
World
it down.
Karate Championship in Sweden.
They're in Sweden, right? So they placed there, and they were able to go there. They came back with 10 medals. 10 medals in representation of the United States.
No kidding.
Yeah, and again, we have great listeners, Tom. And one of our listeners had sent me a clip. They got inside the dojo, and they were listening to how they train. How did they get this good? Well, here's this. They got a secret weapon here. Ready?
Yeah.
Here we go. I got a clip.
Now show me wax on, wax off.
Wax on, wax off.
Wax on, wax off. Hey, wax on, hot. Wax off. Concentrate. Look at my eye. Like a hand. Thumb inside.
No disrespect. That's just funny. Great job. I mean, this is awesome. It just brought me back to the Karate Kid movies, and then I did watch a little bit of the Karate Kid television series they had.
Cobra Kai.
Yeah. And what I wanted to know is, and it was nowhere in this article, but at any point did they have to have like a rumble on the beach with the competing dojo?
Well, in Sweden, no. It might have
but
been
in Akron or
snow.
Canton, maybe. But awesome. I mean, they went there and literally they kicked butt. Like,
yeah, that's awesome.
These are 12-year-olds, 10 and 12-year-olds, 13-year-olds, and it's just awesome story. So if we had to bring it up,
three of the kids were 16-year-olds. You got a 12-year-old and another 12-year-old. So that's awesome.
Yeah, that is
wow. 10, congratulations.
10 medals. Congratulations
to that dojo too, if that's what you call it. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it is what they call it. Yeah,
Westchester Dojo.
Yeah.
It doesn't say the name of it. Buckner Martial Arts.
Oh, there it is. Yep. So good deal. Always like to see that. Getting kids away from the screens and kicking each other in the face. That's what I call America. I mean, seriously, that's good. I like it. I think that's awesome.
That's good.
And
discipline.
really, yeah, discipline. That's a huge thing. Any of that kind of stuff is knowing when to fight and when not to fight. Actually, that's pretty huge in karate, as far as I understand it. So lastly, but definitely not least, I thought I'd do a quick update on one of the good things we have from last week. Was I think that was last week, wasn't it? Yeah. So Ryan Trahan and his wife Haley were doing 50 states in 50 days to raise money for St. Jude's.
Yeah.
And if people don't know what St. Jude is, just a quick reminder, they help mainly child cancer treatment, but really healthcare. They're a hospital, and if you're treated at St. Jude, you don't pay for a dime. No travel, you don't even pay for a meal while you're there. So it's completely covered, including the parents and everybody else who goes there, or any other family members that are there and stuff like that. It's a great hospital, great cause. And at last, they are at $11.5 million. They ended up raising $11.5 million.
Damn, that's awesome.
And they did I pull up the website? I think I did. Yeah, because they had. I think their biggest donor was Staple Games, almost $900,000 raised, and then and Staple Games would you download for everybody to download the app, they gave like a penny, and for every achievement you got in some certain games, they gave like 5 cents. So every day, towards the end, they were putting in $50,000 and $60,000 donations just from people playing the game.
Cool.
And I was playing it too. I got hooked on it, a couple of them. So it's a good story. Now he's taking a little hiatus since he just went across country for 2 months and posted.
Yeah.
But what we're watching now is because it was kind of became somewhat of a family ritual to us to watch his videos. He's done 3 or 4 penny series where he's tried to cross the country or do certain things starting with a penny for charity for I believe hunger, family meals or something to that effect. So lots of good things, just good wholesome content. Check it out. $11.5 million.
Very cool.
Yeah, very awesome. And on that very happy note, we will conclude our show for this week. And thank everybody for listening. Appreciate all of our listeners. Let us know if there's anything we need to cover that you think that we're missing. crookedrivercast.com, crookedrivercast@gmail.com. Watch out for links in our show notes. You can check out some of our stories. And we'll talk to you next week.
Peace.